What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and today we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 12, episode 5. Can I tell you something? I am sick of Crystal and Erica. They both can get the hell up off my damn TV and take a trip there, okay? Let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So the episode starts off with Garcelle's sister, Chantal, visiting her. And Chantal is the third from the last child. So from my understanding, there's 8 children and Garcelle is the youngest. Okay. So they are visiting. Chantal is visiting, and here, what are we saying? Yes, notifications come through. Yes, I'm so glad that the notification came through. Thanks for coming through, Jessica, with a K. All right, so Chantal visits and she lives in Miami, from my understanding. So they went to Garcelle's home that she's building. She has a second home that she's building, a beach house. And this is going to be more of a vacation home for her and her children to just go down there, kind of chillax, and something that she can leave to them, which I think is awesome. I think that, with her now having grandchildren, this is a great purchase. And she talks about how she never in a million years would have imagined that she would be able to do something like this coming from her humble beginnings. It's not a lot of people, let alone have one house, more or less 2. So I'm really happy that she's able to share this moment with her sister. So it ends with them going on the beach, and they make a little joke saying that her man is in the water some damn way. I'm like, child, well, if he in there, tell him to come the hell out, because you've been talking about a man for the last couple of seasons, sis. So I hope you find you one. Moving on. Dorit and Lie Erica, because that's her damn name, because all she do is tell damn lies, okay? Dorit and Lie Erica meet for lunch, and they talk about Rena and her mom's current state. They also talk about the trip to Punta de Mita for the ladies and how Diana has offered up her private jet, honey, to cart them all off on the trip. And Erica, at the end of that, she seems a little jealous, like, oh, well, yeah, I used to have a jet, but, I'm glad to have a friend that still has one. Erica, when are you going to do a show? When you going to sing a ditty or two on a stage? Because I thought that's what you were doing. Like, that was your passion, to be this, Erica Jane character. I haven't seen you perform on that one stage since you became broke. I thought that was a means of making you some more money. Like, were you just doing that as a source of spending Tom's money? I'm about sick and tired of Erica. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. I would love to have her off my TV screen, because I am entirely sick of her. She joins conversations just for the sake of saying something, for somebody to know that she's there. And Erica, newsflash, we don't give a fuck. All right, moving on. So Kyle and Crystal sit down and meet for lunch. They discuss Paris's wedding and how amazing it was. And Kyle talks about how Paris said her signature statement. I think, did she say as if, or did she say, I forgot what she said. But anyway, one of her signature statements, as she says, and everybody laughed and thought that was really cute at the wedding. So Crystal says she just, they go into Crystal and her allegations of Sutton saying something so dark that she just doesn't want to repeat it. So Crystal says she doesn't want to talk about it and wants to move on. And Kyle says, well, you brought it up, and it's something that, you need to back it up, because you said it. You didn't really give any clarity to it. So now people are going to be thinking the worst. So if you weren't going to say what it was or give any context to what you said, then your ass shouldn't have freaking said it. Okay. And that's basically what Kyle was saying. And I'm about sick of Crystal and this stuff, because listen, let me say this right here. As a person of color, it's a lot going on in the world against us right now. And to sit here and bojangle and make up some stuff that really isn't that serious about somebody, that's very dangerous, because there's a lot of people out here that are tricking and trifling where it comes to people of color that really need to get dealt with. But for you to create a scenario against someone where that's not the case, That's very, very, very disgusting. It really, really is. Because there's a lot of trifling ass people out here that do things against people of color all the time. And for you to accuse somebody of something that, from what was said, which we're going to get into, wasn't that deep, in my opinion, as a person of color, you should be ashamed of yourself, Crystal. And from this, I am so done with Crystal. I don't even know what to do with her. She can get the hell up off my damn TV ASAP, okay? What we got going on? Linda's in the building. Linda Gamble is here. Good evening. Good evening, Linda. Jessica with a K. Any money she makes right now will probably get tied up in the courts to pay off court costs, the victims. At least Erica was calling stuff what it was this episode. She was, but I still think that she was still chiming in, saying stuff, she's like fishing for some apology from Sutton that, girl, you don't deserve. Like, please shut the fuck up. I'm just so sick of Erica. I'm so sorry. She is not on my list of faves this season at all. I'm really overly tired of her. Moving on. Crystal says, I'm just going to be clear that I'm not going to repeat what she said. And Kyle said, well, you shouldn't have said it. And Kyle says she feels Crystal is gaslighting the situation and is being dramatic. And Crystal says, I'm going to ask you for grace with this situation. And Kyle says, well, you need to be more open in the future. And they discuss Mexico and surfing lessons. So they move on from the topic, which I just feel like, I appreciate Kyle in that moment, basically calling Crystal out and telling her, listen, we see each other. You're full of shit. You brought that up just to try to bring some attention to yourself because your ass is boring and you don't have nothing to talk about. So now you're just making up shit. That's what you're doing. You're making shit up. And what we're not going to do is make up stuff, sis. Okay. You need to find this wrong road in my Portia voice. This ain't what you want. You don't want to be doing that because you're in a group full of, let's be real. You in a group full of very affluent white women. Why the fuck would you come up in here and make up some shit? Because I'm pretty sure it's some real shit going on that y'all can really talk about. But for you to make up something like that, their character and their image is everything to them. So for you to be trying to insinuate that one of the people in your close group is a racist, essentially, that's a problem. And they don't want to be associated with that. So with you making it up and it is really not what's going on, yeah, Crystal, you really got some this is a situation. So the next scene, Diana goes to Kyle's house and she tells her about Paris's wedding and then talks about her daughter actually getting engaged and how her daughter turned the ring around at the wedding because she didn't want the attention to come off of Paris. It was all about Paris and her husband, so she didn't want to overshadow Paris at all. So they aren't going to announce the engagement until after all of the wedding festivities. So she says she's growing up and Kyle asked Diana about her daughter, which I think her daughter is a year old. So she's still a little baby. And she talks about how her daughter is walking. And then Diana talks about a situation where she actually had a miscarriage right after she had her daughter. So she was apparently pregnant with a little boy. And she went to the doctor to get a checkup and she was ready to do video and all this stuff, like celebrating the moment of her being pregnant again. And nothing was in the sonogram. Like basically the baby had already died and it had been deceased a couple of weeks in her body, and that could cause a lot of infections. So the baby eventually, she felt like she was about to faint and the baby eventually fell out of her, which I thought that is so gut-wrenching. Like I would never wish that on anybody. And Diana pretty much goes into how it doesn't matter how affluent you are, you can't control your body, you can't control what your body does, and you can't control that process of becoming a mother, having a baby and all that stuff. So they eventually move on and says that she wants to eventually have another baby because she does enjoy being pregnant and she does enjoy being a parent. And she says she looks forward to going to Mexico because it'll be her first time away from her daughter. Which I'm like, girl, I know you fucking lying because you was just in La Quinta and I didn't see no babies. Okay, so unless the baby was in the background with your assistants that come and set the place up before you get there, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? If you rich and you got the coins to make that happen, you go right ahead. But you didn't have no kids there, man. Okay, so this ain't your first rodeo without your kid. So first you lied about being a damn Leo child. Now you lying about your kids. Girl, okay, whatever, Diana. Where's the jet? Warm it up so we can get up out of this story. So moving on. Rena's mom unfortunately passes away at the amazing age of 93 years old. She literally lived a full, extremely full life. Okay. So Rena says that her mom directed them not to resuscitate her at all, just basically let life take its course on its own where it comes to her. And, that was really hard for her to accept that that's what her mother wanted, but she was going to live out, go ahead and do what her mom said. And they show a bunch of flashbacks of her mom being on the show and basically how everybody loved her, which I thought Lois was real cool on the show. So I'm sad to hear that, but when someone is that close to 100 years old, you just already know that life was good. Okay. So in the next scene, Kyle calls Erica and discusses Rena's mom passing and how Rena is still coming on the girls' trip, and they look forward to supporting her. So then everyone arrives to get on the private jet. Of course, Rena is there because she's going on the trip. And she said, you know what? My mom would have loved for me to come on this trip. And my family supports me being here because they said that they know that that's what she would have wanted me to do. So she's there. Everyone embraces her and provides her love and support. So in the next scene, everyone arrives, gets in their respective vans, and Garcelle says, I bet you $5 Dorit is over in that damn van speaking Spanish in that car. And guess what? Dorit definitely was. What Dorit is always going to do is try to show everybody that she is very well cultured. Okay. Sis gonna make sure that y'all understand. Listen, I know y'all try to make fun of my voice and my accents that I make up in my head and all that shit, but I am very cultured and don't you ever forget it, okay? I have traveled to the 7 seas, honey, okay? And I'm going to show y'all every chance I get. So she definitely was over there speaking the language of the natives, okay? And then the man ended up speaking back to her ass in English to say, listen, look here, little bitch, I understand you know how to speak Spanish, but I want you to also know that I know how to speak English. So don't try to play me. Okay. So sometimes you got to be careful if that is insulting somebody or not. Moving on. They arrive at the Conrad Punta de Mita and they drink a Rasilia drink and check in. Everybody says that the drink was good. So I'm definitely going to take notes of that and try that the next time I go to Mexico. So all the ladies meet up for dinner and they check in with Rena to see how she's feeling at the beginning of the dinner. And she says it hasn't quite hit her yet, but she feels like, her mom lived a full life. And they toast to her mom. They order their food, get right into talk, and then they get right on into talking about what Rena missed. Because Rena's like, what did I miss? What's going on? And everybody all quiet, looking like damn deers in the damn headlights. But then Sutton kicks it off and chimes in and says, well, there was a conversation that was had. I wasn't there, but Crystal was saying, it was something dark going on or whatever. And she says everyone knows her character, family, and how she expresses love to everyone. And she doesn't want any dangerous untruths out there about her. So Crystal says she felt uncomfortable about what Sutton had said to her. And, she feels like they've gone through it and talked about it. So she just wants to move on. That's why she's not really interested in telling people what she said. Okay. Well, we got Jessica with a K. Says maybe her Spanish was so bad. He was like, nah, just speak English. Now that is hilarious. And he definitely probably said that. Thank you so much for commenting. That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that because they probably like, listen, you know what? I get it. You're trying to be supportive and be in the culture and all that, but I don't even want to speak to somebody with broken Spanish. I'm moving on. So you should too. Okay. That's hilarious. So getting back to the review, y'all. Sutton says, yeah, but that was last year. So why are you bringing it up? Basically, the conversation about this dark situation. It happened last year. So Sutton is like, we've seemingly moved on. We've built a relationship. So why would you even go back there or even insinuate that there was something going on that actually did not happen? And it's old as fuck. So why are we even talking about it? So then Dorit chimes in and says, you said it was dark and a lot worse. And Crystal says, okay, well, words are like Rorschach. And Erica chimes in and says a blot test, which, you know what? Erica gets on my damn nerves, but that bitch is smart, okay? Because she knew exactly what the hell homegirl was talking about. And I actually looked up a Rorschach. Did it fit the conversation? Sort of. It's just one of those things where you learn a new word and you just press to use it in front of everybody. That's what it was giving from Crystal to me. Like, girl, who the fuck would ever use this word in a damn sentence? Okay. Actually, y'all, let me pull it up. The Rorschach test is a test. So the Rorschach test is a projective psychological test in which subjects' perceptions of ink blots are recorded and then analyzed using psychological interpretation, complex algorithms, or both. Some psychology algorithms, complex algorithms, or both. Some psychologists use this test to examine a person's personality, characters, and emotional functioning. Okay. Why the fuck we got to use that word? Girl, is this one of the words that your kids learned in school and you had to help them spell it and then you want to use it on TV? You sound stupid. I cannot. Crystal saying to Garcelle, I know these are big words, was so condescending. Crystal is using triggering words and wants to get hung up on semantics. Typical gaslighting. Absolutely. And she dumb as a damn box of rocks anyway, because for you to think that you're going to sit up here and gaslight some damn body and make up a damn story about somebody being a racist, you're dumb. So you can use all the encyclopedia words of foolishness if you want to, but don't nobody care about the words that are coming out of your mouth, sis, because none of them make any damn sense. Shut the fuck up in the corner. How about that? Use that word, silence, silencio in Spanish. How about that? Do that, Crystal. Shut the fuck up. That's what I want her to do. So moving on. You know, Crystal says, I didn't bring it up. No, I'm saying, let me go back because that's important. Jessica brought it up where she says, I know these are big words when she said the Rorschach word. And Garcelle says, we all know big words, Crystal. Okay. So don't try to play me. We know words. We're all very educated women at this table. So then Crystal, hold on, y'all. Let me go back because I think I may have skipped over what I was saying because there's a lot in here. Let me find my way, y'all. Give me a second. We talked about the read, black test, Garcelle's. Well, we all know the words. Okay, here we go. Sutton says, I feel like you've tried to assassinate my character twice, and it makes me nervous about you. And Erica says, I'm in awe of what I'm hearing. This is kind of what I was saying last year. First of all, Erica, let me stop you right here. Let me halt you, okay? Let me pause you. Don't nobody give a fuck about what happened last year, girl. Shut your ass up. You keep trying to bring up all this old shit because you're just trying to make yourself relevant. Knock it off. The only thing I want to hear you saying is, I wrote a check to the victims in the amount of XYZ. That's all I want to hear, because you're trying to play this woe is me game this entire season about, oh, I have to wear my clothes a second time. Oh, I don't have my private jet anymore. Cry me a river, dick face. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of your rich people problems, okay? It's people out here trying to figure out how they going to get to work every day because the gas prices are so damn high. You can shut the fuck up. That's what you can do, okay? Erica, bye, bitch. That's my sentence for you, okay? Crystal lost me as a fan when she said that bit word statement with Garcelle. I was like, you're what a bitch. Okay, listen, okay? That big word. Okay, I think that's what you were trying to say. Yeah, I'm just like, girl, are you kidding me? Ain't no such thing. I mean, you talking about a big word. You're the type of person, Crystal is the type of person that uses a word just to use it, and it don't make no sense because it really didn't fit the situation, honestly. Like, you got to really think about it to make it make sense with what was going on. And here's the biggest thing. Your ass was fucking lying. You made up some shit about Sutton, which you better be glad that she don't sue your ass for defamation of character. How about that? Okay? But that's another conversation for another damn day. So Erica tries to chime in and make it about her child. Ain't nobody checking for her, okay, in her situation. Pay them people. That's all we want to hear you doing, Erica. It's paying them people, okay? So Garcelle says that was a different situation and you can't compare the two. And she definitely cannot because it don't make no damn sense. She is doing team too much. So Dorit says, do you think you exaggerated and made this up? She says that to Crystal. And Crystal says, I didn't make this up. And what I said was things were said that made me uncomfortable. And I need you to stop denying my experience. You know what, Crystal? I need you to stop fucking lying. That's what I need you to do. Stop exaggerating and stop making shit worse than what it really is. Because from what was said, because Sutton and I don't think I went over the conversation between Sutton and I think I skipped over that, which that was a very influential portion of this episode. Sutton and Garcelle actually sat down for lunch and they talked about what was said. And Sutton basically made a comment saying that she looked out her window and she saw that her daughter was in the pool with her Asian friend, her Chinese friend, her black friend, and a little girl with red hair or whatever. And she said, this is exactly what the world should be like. And basically saying that she's happy that her children are hanging out with multicultural people and they're all in her pool. And she really feels like she's teaching her kids the right thing. And Garcelle was like, that's all you said. That's it. That was her dark moment. That was what you supposedly said that was so dark. She's like, yeah, you better watch out because that bitch ain't your friend. Basically, look out for your little new friend because she ain't your damn friend. And that's what happened in the conversation between Garcelle and Sutton when they talked about that. And I'm just like, this is just a hot ass mess. It's nothing. I'm black. Okay. And I'm probably a part of the most oppressed people in this country right about now. Okay. And that is not up for discussion. My issue is I don't see nothing wrong with what she said. Okay. Now, I do believe that there are, people that are not of color. Okay. I.e. white people, which we're not going to go into a whole discussion over this because that's not what this review is about. Okay. But I do think that there are a lot of people that are not racist, but do need to be educated on how to properly express certain things where it doesn't offend somebody. But that statement right there totally shouldn't offend anybody with a brain. I think that Crystal elevated the situation. That's why her ass didn't want to tell them what it was, because she knew that shit was stupid with her Rorschach ass. Okay, moving on. So she says, Kyle says, well, you also can't assassinate someone's character. After she said that, basically Crystal made the comment about being uncomfortable and saying that she needs Dorit to stop denying her experience. Kyle says, well, you also can't assassinate someone's character, which I'm happy to see Kyle actually defending Sutton in this moment, because in the past, homegirl was just sticking a knife in Sutton's back, rolling the bus right over, sis. I'm like, damn, like, is this really your friend? This bitch just rented your house for the last 2-3 years, and this how you treat her? She put coins in your pocket, sis. And actually not coins, the kind that folds. I don't understand. But I'm glad to actually see her actually defend Sutton in this moment, okay? And consistently defend her, might I add. So, Kyle basically says that Crystal is crying and, what she's doing is gaslighting Sutton. And Crystal feels like if Rena or Erica said gaslighting, it would be okay. But since she said it, it's so horrific. Girl, it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. You need to accept responsibility for your irresponsible use of words, okay? And you can't just say shit just to say it for shock value. And that's exactly what she's doing. Let's call a spade a spade. You're trifling. And that's all it is to it. So Crystal says she thinks they see her as someone they can easily attack and judge. No, we see you as somebody that's a fucking liar. That's what we see you are. ass. And she maintains that it was an uncomfortable conversation and they got through it. Okay. Yeah, you got through the conversation about her seeing you naked, not you making up this damn lie about people in a damn pool. That is not uncomfortable, and it wasn't dark, which what this woman said. So Garcelle says, how do you feel about what she's saying? She's saying this to Sutton. And Sutton says, listen, I know what I said, and I never would say anything so terrible or dark. Erica chimes in and says, what do you think she is accusing you of? And basically, Erica was like, basically, you calling her a racist. So let's call a spade a spade. You want her to say that you're not a racist. Basically, that's what you want her to say, right, Sutton? And then Renna says, this is where it gets dangerous because you're dangling a serious carrot and this is not good for you. Basically saying this to Sutton. And this is very, very bad. And Sutton says, I know. And I'm effing pissed. She said, I said nothing wrong and I said nothing bad. And Crystal says, I didn't bring it up. Bitch, yes, the fuck you did. Are you stupid? Roll that beautiful bean footage, Bravo. You did bring it up. Nobody was talking about it until you opened your raggedy ass mouth. You should have had them leather pants on so they could have fired your ass up in the moment. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? You definitely brought it up. Nobody asked you. Nobody said, hey, was there anything that Sutton said that was racist or uncomfortable or made you feel dark? What did she say that could bring you to the light? Nobody did any of that. I don't get this situation. Let's get into these comments real quick. Is that my girl Ann? Do I see Ann in the comments? Crystal lost me as oh we went over that. Yes, I do. Ann Rodriguez. Yes, ma'am. Hey Shay. Hey Jessica. Hey Ann. What's going on? Jessica with a K says, I don't trust Sutton either though, and I haven't since the beginning. I lived in Tennessee for years and have met and I've met several pageant mom Karens like Sutton, and they are good at pretending when they want to. That is interesting. Hey, Ann. All right, we all talking to each other. Nothing. Shanique says nothing wrong at all with what Sutton said, and it certainly can't be characterized as dark. I 100% agree. And Rodriguez says, I am mutt. My dad's Italian and Scottish, and my mom is Choctaw Indian and Irish. We accept everybody. And I accept you, and you are amazing. I agree, Shanique. And is laughing. Her raggedy ass mouth. Y'all know I ain't got no damn sense. So Sutton says, yes, you did. And this is a pattern. Crystal says she didn't bring it up. And Sutton says, yes, you did. And this is a pattern with you. You did this. You've done this stuff where you make up stuff about your friends behind their backs. And I like you. So that's why I'm telling you this. This has been brought to Sutton's attention that this is what Crystal does. She makes up stuff about people. She tries to get in with the it person in a group, and she'll lie about whoever and whenever, just so she can get to the top of the totem pole with whoever is like the it person. Okay. And that's really messed up. And people like that make up lies about people just to, gain some clout. Those people are real dangerous. So Renna in her confessional says that she heard this about Miss Crystal too, but she ain't never said nothing about it. And Renna, we know why you ain't say nothing about it, because you're holding it in your damn back pocket so you can talk shit about her when it's convenient. It hasn't been convenient for you to bring it out. But sis, come on now. We know that you love to gaslight somebody too. Your middle name should be Cole and Lighter, because you always lighten shit up with some bullshit. Okay? So Crystal says, Kyle says, I'm not trying to go back and forth about this or go in the past, but as the only other person there, I have no choice but to say this is not my experience. She basically didn't hear. She doesn't agree that Sutton said anything that was so tragic or dark. And Crystal says Kyle is choosing to focus on what serves her and not focus on what was actually hurtful to her and people of color. Girl, people of color don't give a damn about what that shit that Sutton said. That is not hurtful, and it wasn't nothing that we need to be butthurt over. It's so many things, like I said, it's so many things going on in the world that we can be pissed over, that shit right there is the lowest on the totem pole ever. It ain't even on the pole, okay? Knock it the fuck off, Crystal. Like, seriously. I'm about over her ass, too. And Kyle says, you don't want it said. Basically, she was saying, you don't want us to talk about what was actually said because you made it seem worse than what it really was. So Sutton tells everybody what was said. She tells her about the pool situation and the kids in her pool and how she was smiling about it and basically happy. And Kyle says, okay, that was said the next day, not in La Quinta when they were talking in Tahoe. I think that's what she said. And Garcelle says she didn't say anything dark to her. That wasn't dark to her, and it wasn't as bad as Crystal made it out to be. And Crystal says, well, that wasn't problematic to you? Like asking Garcelle if she doesn't think that was. And Garcelle says, girl, no. And then Sutton says, as much as I hate Crystal, I like her. Sutton, I'm gonna need you. Your picker is off. You need to do better with picking your friends because this bitch is not your friend. You already picked wrong with Kyle, long and wrong, okay? And now you're doing a bad situation with Crystal. You need to just let these fools going on about their merry way and kick the bobo together in their pool of foolishness. That's what you need to do. Crystal was trying to garner sympathy. Unfortunately for her, she will find my sympathy in the dictionary right between shit and syphilis. First of all, that is hella funny. Well, we want to go to the dictionary. She found he goes some more big words for her. Thank you for commenting, Ann. Ann is laughing right along with me. Yes, ma'am. All right, y'all. Let me get off here laughing at Ann. Thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that watches this show too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.